Whenever you see a bitch, you slap one. So get, I tell you what, I can show you better than I can tell you. No, let him go. Whenever you see a bitch, you slap one.
I'm gonna say thanks for this man showing restraint when it came down to the actual part where it got violent. Um, I don't know how it got to this point where it appears that I don't know if this guy's a teacher, some type of monitor, whatever the case may be, that was called to the class. I don't think he's the teacher, but if you see a bitch slap a bitch, is inviting, you know, a problem in the situation where a kid, you know what I mean, is like just going bonkers in the class. Um, this is what's happening in a lot of classrooms, right? Who's learning? And I just realized the one kid just ran up behind them and punched them all in the side. This is chaos. This is a place of learning. This is what's producing. This is part of your prison, school to prison pipeline. Excuse me. This is what this is. This is what happened when you seen the kid fighting the police and the police whooped his ass, right? This is the same kids, the same attitude, the same energy. These kids are angry. But what we're missing is these kids is not getting an education. This is why you can't attract the smartest and the brightest to come teach in the cities or schools where we're at, because no teacher want to go through this, get jumped by the damn students, you get spin kicked up against the wall, and you're expected to whole, have restraint. Look at this man. All right. I mean, he talking his talk, but he still didn't whip his ass. And I'm glad he didn't. I'm gonna say this again. I always say it, and I'm gonna say community, family, and school. Those three things go together. The community should be a reflection of the family, and school should be a reflection of the community. Right? I can't use this one situation and paint the picture and say that's the whole neighborhood or whatever, or it's the whole community, but it's enough. And when he's not doing this in school, he's doing this in the community. What happens with kids like this, they grow up and get a gun and they use it before they get to grow out of whatever he's going through that's making him this upset. I was an upset kid. I understand. And, maybe it's the lack of being able to articulate the way you feel. Maybe he needed help and ain't know how to raise his hand because he ain't want to be embarrassed. Or maybe he just can't understand, or maybe that the class move it's so many different things. Maybe at home is different things. Who knows, man? Who knows? But what I do know for sure, I'm pretty sure he ain't got no 4.0 GPA. Or I'm gonna assume he ain't got perfect attendance. And I'm gonna assume that I know this ain't his first time acting out like this. Look at his homeboy. Look at him. He trying to intervene. So now he's throwing something. Now he's just restraining him. He ain't even turn around. Look, somebody else grabbed him. But he's still trying to talk to him for real. This is sad, man. It's just, you just watch everything deteriorate even worse over the years. And then you see the other side of it when these kids get out of school and they have nowhere to go, no future. So they turn to the streets because when it was time to prepare for the future, this is what we was in there doing. And know who else suffering in this class? The other kids who need to learn, who moms and dad probably sent them to school. The ones who's not jumping up and going all crazy. The whole day is disrupted. So even when they change periods and go to a different class, they're talking about the fight. Did you see what Jamal did to Mr. Lamont and blah blah blah? So it's still going on. So this chaos travels through the whole school. Everybody suffer. What's on the board? I think this is a math class. Yeah, it's a math class. So like everybody, miss math is very important. Every subject is very important. This is a critical place, right? This is a critical place for these kids. This is where they need to be with their heads buried in these books because when they get out in this world, it's not there. Nobody gonna care. Ain't nobody gonna care. Ain't nobody gonna nobody's gonna care. Either you qualify, you don't. He ain't choking them, he restraining them. He let the other guy get him. He throws the trash can or whatever, goes over his head. Homeboy come in, little love taps. They pull him out. You know, but that's why you can't nobody wants to come and teach. Nobody wants to work in this atmosphere or an atmosphere where it's the potential that this can happen and where you could get hurt. And these kids bringing guns, knives, and people. Some people get offended because it's metal detectors at a lot of these schools. They say, "What are you trying to say about the kids?" We got to face reality. These are kids that's out here pitting people 6 feet under. There's a metal detector at my daughter's school. I just took her out of homeschooling and we put her into regular school. And I appreciated the fact that I had to go through a metal detector and then I had to be buzzed in. You know, 2 years ago, first day of school, kid gets shot in the head right in front of the school. Not her school, but a school I could throw a rock from my house and bust a window from. And that's why I understand it's like, and it's all a reflection of the community. And it's sad. This is the assembly line. We gotta change the culture. We gotta, and it's not to say that we don't have, but we gotta really focus on family. The community should reflect our families, and the school should reflect our community. All three of these things go together. That's my thoughts.